Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, guys, this is very interesting what's happening to Bitcoin. In the last 7 days or so, I have been calling for a correction on Bitcoin to reset the TD sequential after the 9 flash that we saw about a week ago on the daily chart for Bitcoin. That was quite the sentence. And you know, I was sitting in bed this morning. It's a Sunday, so I woke up. It's like 9 a.m. in the morning. I'm sitting there scrolling through the comments, and I'm like, oh, okay, comments that were posted 2 hours ago are talking about the pullback. Comments posted 5 hours ago are talking about a flash crash. Comments posted 9 hours ago are talking about a pump to $12,000. And then I look at the chart, and I see this. And I realized, hey, look, Bitcoin did exactly what we said it was going to. Bitcoin pulled back because of that 9 flash on the TD sequential. But you might be wondering, Jeb, is this a bad thing? Is this the end of the bull market? Has Bitcoin finally crashed, burned? Is this the end, or are we still going up? Well, be comforted, because in this video I want to bring to your attention why this is actually the best thing that could have happened to Bitcoin at this particular moment in history. We're going to be going over the history of Bitcoin, how Bitcoin goes into rallies, how Bitcoin sustains the rallies, and of course, as always, where Bitcoin is heading from here. Guys, you're going to get a lot of great value out of today's video. I know that much, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below if you enjoyed today's video. And guys, one more thing before we jump into the video, I also want to mention that we started a new sale on the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. If you'd like to see how we were able to predict this pullback, how we were able to read these markets, how we were able to make price predictions, how we were able to do analysis on this market and it be correct. If you want to learn how to do that, there's one place to do it where you can come in and you can learn everything you need to know to lay a strong foundation for technical analysis, and that is none other than the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. Use the coupon code BULLRUN2020 at checkout and you get $40 off at checkout. CT2A is the best academy for cryptocurrency in the entire industry, so if you would like to join us, the link's down below. You can join our 2,000 students, and you can read some of their testimonies in yesterday's comment section, because we had a bunch of people saying, thank God for CT2A, because now I actually understand why this pullback happened. But anyway, guys, more on that at the end of the video. For now, though, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. If you don't know this, you might be new here. Tell me if you are. We've had maybe 1,000, 2,000 new subscribers in the last several days. So if you're new here, you may not know this about me, but I absolutely love collecting coffee mugs. And there's this one really cool website that gave me a shout out about 2 months ago called beginnerscryptoguide.com. And I went there and I was ranked like number 4th on their top 5 list. And I was so flattered that I decided I'd support them and buy some of their merchandise. And this is one of the things I bought from them. It says Toxic Bitcoin Maximalist. And if you guys know anything about me, you will know that I am not a Bitcoin maximalist. But I am pretty toxic. Just gonna say. Anyway, that's the coffee mug for today. And I might have to take a break here to go get some more, because that was the end of it. Anyway, let's jump onto the chart. Oh no, look at Bitcoin. Look at this massive correction. Look at this 1 hourly candlestick. We pulled back 12% in an hour. What are we gonna do? Oh God, the world's coming to an end. Oh no, look at this. Bitcoin setting lower highs. Bitcoin setting lower lows. We're moving into a new downtrend. What are we gonna do, Jeb? This looks like a chart hamburger. Look at that. That's kind of cool. Stop. Stop for a second. Stop panicking. We called this. We knew this was going to happen. You can literally go to yesterday's video and pretty much any video we've made in the last 7 days, and we talked about some kind of correction or consolidation, one of the two happening, more than likely a big correction. We finally had it. Before you start panicking, take notice, Bitcoin's absolute bottom down here, the absolute bottom of this massive correction, pulled only back down to $10,500. We started this rally at $9,200. As you can see, it would have been a nice rally if we rallied to where we just corrected to. That would have been a 15% rally. Instead, Bitcoin rallied 30% in less than 2 weeks. So I'm not going to harp on this, but if you're panicking, just stop. Just quit. Just stop, because this is not the end of the bull market. In fact, if you look at the downtrending level of resistance that Bitcoin got above and the flat level of resistance that Bitcoin needed to break, check this out. You want to take a wild guess at exactly where Bitcoin got support? How about exactly where we said it would on the downtrending level of resistance and the flat level of resistance that we broke through at the exact same time? Whenever Bitcoin goes into a rally, you actually want to see it come down and test the previous resistance as new support. And that's exactly what we've just done. What we can now do because of this test is we can change these lines from red and all menacing to blue and nice and comforting, because Bitcoin is now utilizing them as support. Also, if you'll remember to about a week ago, right around here, I drew our next price target being in this box right here, in between 11.7 and 12.1. And as you can see, Bitcoin has rallied perfectly into that, and that is where it has rejected. We found those levels of resistance based on previous highs back over here at $11,700 and right here at $12,100. We also found that high because of two things. Number one, the RSI, which yesterday was sitting at 85, very unhealthy. Today, much better, sitting at 67. I am in love with this RSI correction. But more importantly, if you'll take notice, the TD sequential. We hit a 9 flash here, and on this chart, you might notice, Jeb, why is that 9 flash still in effect? Well, that's only on the Bitfinex chart, and as you guys know, Bitfinex is weird. Because on every other chart besides the Bitfinex chart, up until literally about 15 minutes ago, this was actually a proper reset on the TD sequential. You might be wondering, Jeb, if there's been a big correction, why has the TD sequential still not reset? Why is the TD sequential being so hard to get along with? The reason is because Bitcoin is just on the very hairline edge of resetting the TD sequential. What's most important is that we've reset the RSI and we've taken proper steps to resetting the TD sequential, which means that either today or tomorrow, the TD is more than likely going to be reset. As I said before I sat down to record this video, when Bitcoin was about $50 lower than it is right now, we're going to get to that in a minute, Bitcoin had reset the TD sequential. Think of the TD sequential resetting as almost like a progress bar. It's very complicated math that I'm not getting into in today's video, but you kind of need to get all the way through the progress bar, all the way up to 100%, and then it resets. But you need to close a candlestick for that to be locked in. We've taken a lot of very important steps to resetting the TD sequential because of this correction. We're probably 95% the way there. All we really need is to have this daily chart candlestick close, another one open, it be just the slightest bit red, and then we're reset and we're off to the races because, as I showed you earlier, the RSI is reset and we have more room to run. But another reason why this is very good for Bitcoin has to do with something that you probably haven't thought about, and that would be none other than the Bollinger Bands. For all of you guys in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, you will know of our video right here on the Bollinger Bands, and you will too know why they are so important. The Bollinger Bands must not be ignored in the same way that you must not ignore the TD sequential. Bollinger Bands most certainly do not like being ignored. As you can see, they had constricted very tightly here, which is why we were able to break out as effectively as we did, because we got overextended and that drove bullish exuberance. But now we've been overextended for so long that the bears are starting to take the pressure back. We needed a correction like this to drive us farther into the bands. As you can see, we were so far outside of the bands for all of this time. Bitcoin needs a couple days of correction, which is exactly what I've been harping on. And by the way, guys, if you remembered what we talked about before this breakout, we were talking about three things. We were talking about volatility, volume, and investor interest. Well, guess what? Based on the Bollinger Bands, we can see that volatility has massively increased. Based on our volume down here, we can see that even on this red day, we're seeing some of the biggest volume candlesticks that we have in the last several months. And if you look over on Google Trends, you can see that we're about to have a close on a weekly data point here that puts Bitcoin search volume all the way up to 85 from 48, one of the fastest, largest jumps that we've seen in the last 12 months. Give it another couple of weeks of uptrend, and Bitcoin is more than likely going to be outpacing the search volume that we have had for the entire previous year. So what were we talking about a week ago? We were talking about volume, volatility, and retail investor interest. Well, guess what? Three things are looking absolutely amazing. Volume, volatility, and retail investor interest. So I question you again, should we really be all that terrified of this correction on Bitcoin? Or because we predicted it, because we knew this was going to happen, based on the way that market cycles work, should we instead find this to be one of the best things that could possibly happen to Bitcoin? I would postulate yes. This, in my opinion, is actually one of the best things that could have happened to Bitcoin at this point in time. Because if you'll remember to yesterday's video, about halfway through, I drew this. I said that Bitcoin could essentially do one of three things. I said it could rally up here and flag below our resistance, it could rally up here and flag below 12.1, or it could crash and flag, but either way, all three of these lead into a bull market. You can go into yesterday's video and see me drawing that. We went with this option down here where we pulled back and we're likely to flag out for a few days. Of those three options, I believe that the one that we have gone through with, the pulling back one, is the best one that we could do because it forces the RSI down. Guys, when Bitcoin is trading sideways, RSI is naturally going to trend to 50 because 50 represents perfect sideways trading where Bitcoin's not going up or down at all. But when you have an actual correction, a flash crash like we saw, you reset the TD sequential, you reset that RSI, and you build support wherever that flash crash happens to hit the bottom. And I showed you that earlier. It hit bottom on our previous levels of support and resistance, which we know are very strong because we've been under them for the last 3 years. So is this a bad thing for Bitcoin? Absolutely not. For those of you guys who have been here for more than a year, you will remember back in 2019 when Bitcoin was rallying here, and it seemed like every single day I was saying Bitcoin needs a correction. Bitcoin needs a correction. Bitcoin needs a correction. Bitcoin needs a correction. And Bitcoin just kept ignoring my calls for a correction, for a little bit of slowdown, for a little bit of ease. Because in a healthy bull market like what we saw in 2016-17, Bitcoin would regularly pull back over 40% or more. In this bull market over here, we saw no such thing, and as such, Bitcoin got massively overextended and we pulled back for another year to follow. I am going to continue calling for the same thing here. Bitcoin needs to have these corrections because they are very healthy. Why did this bull market back in 2019 not lead us to all-time high? Because Bitcoin never reset its RSI. Look at this RSI. How is this right here a healthy territory for Bitcoin to go into rally? You know how much easier it is for Bitcoin to go into a rally when we're sitting at 30 or 40 rather than 80 or 90? The entire reason that Bitcoin did not go into a bull market that brought us back to all-time high in 2019 was because we were doing it improperly. Bitcoin having this correction here, guys, is a great thing. And let me tell you what would be even better. If Bitcoin would pull back farther, I would like to see Bitcoin pull all the way back down to $10,500. I don't know that it's going to do that, mind you, but I would like to see that. That's not my prediction, but I do think that'd be the most healthy thing that Bitcoin could do right now. We've rallied so far, blown the top off of every resistance level that we have touched, and we have made history breaking the downtrending level of resistance, the longest one in the history of the market. So is Bitcoin pulling back here, locking in gains, making those bulls happy, making them profits, making them more money that they can then reinvest in the market, breaking the bear's bank account a good thing? Yes, absolutely it is. So I encourage you, in the next few days, maybe Bitcoin goes on a big rally, maybe it doesn't. We've just had a shift in market direction, which means that we don't understand the current market climate as of about 12 hours ago. So I'm not making any predictions in this video. That'll pick back up in a couple of days. For now, I want to see what Bitcoin decides to do. Do we correct a little bit more, or do we just start rallying again? How much and how big is the exuberance on Bitcoin? Either way, whatever it may be, this is a very healthy thing for the cryptocurrency market, and I am very happy that Bitcoin has done this, because too many times I've seen bull markets be squandered by Bitcoin rallying too fast, too quickly, getting ahead of itself, and crashing. The very first video I ever made on this channel, which I uploaded and got like 5 views, it got like 700 views now, which is kind of funny, because that video is horrible. But in that video, I was actually right in what I was saying. You can go back and watch this. It's literally the very first video I ever made on this channel. It was made right back over here on November 23rd. Right here. This day is when I made that video. And in that video, I said that this little correction, this little 30% correction, really 20% if you measure it correctly, this correction right here was not big enough for Bitcoin to continue rallying in a healthy way, and that Bitcoin was about to have a big fall over and a big crash because we never had a proper correction. And guess what happened? Almost a month to the day after I made that video, Bitcoin would pull back 70%, start the pullback, and that bull market ended because we never had a big enough correction right here. If Bitcoin had a more adequately satiated the bears here and allowed for more bulls to take their profits, then Bitcoin might have gone all the way to $30,000 in 2017. But because we didn't have a big enough correction right here, Bitcoin stopped at 20. I think the potential for this market rally is massive, and I do see it being up in the high 5, maybe even 6 figures, which is why Bitcoin's moving so quickly, is because our potential is so high. But I need you to understand that that path has to be paved properly. We're not going to $20,000 this year, guys. That's my call. I'm going to make it, and I'm going to stand by it. I do not see Bitcoin going to 20K this year. I might be wrong, because I will also say that I could very easily see Bitcoin going to $20,000 in January, February, or March. So if Bitcoin goes to $20,000 around Christmas time, don't at me because I was close. My point is that Bitcoin needs to take its time. Bitcoin needs to take this slowly. Bitcoin does not need to get ahead of itself, because that is the fastest way for this entire thing to end. And do you really want to wait another year for the next opportunity? I know I don't. I'm ready for this thing to go. So let's hold off and let's make sure that we're comfortable with Bitcoin having healthy corrections, because at the end of the day, that's exactly what we need for this market to continue rallying. Tell me what you thought about that in the comment section down below. I love reading your comments, guys. We got almost 600 comments on yesterday's video. Good Lord. I mean, just look at this. We got 20,000 views, 2.2K likes, and 570 comments. Guys, thank you so much, and welcome if you're new here. We've gotten like 400 new subscribers overnight. This channel is about to explode, guys. We are working very hard to hit 75K subs by the end of the year. We want to hit 100K around March or April of next year, and we are heading for it. Guys, I am so excited about where this channel is going. I'm so excited about where crypto is going. I'm so excited about the brand and the community that we're building here and what we're going to be able to do with the impact that we're building. Guys, I am just so high on life right now. And that is not because of anything I did. That is because of the support that you have shown us. So thank you so much for everyone who's new here. There's like 2,000 of you guys who have just subscribed. welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for joining. And before we go, I do want to ask one question. Do any of you remember Hubert? If you do remember Hubert, tell me in the comment section down below. That's how I know you're a real old fan. That's how I know. Anyway, before we go, I do want to mention the thing that makes this channel possible, and that'd be the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. Guys, I have been working in these crypto markets for over 3 years, and in my experience, let me tell you something. Learning technical analysis is hard, and learning technical analysis takes time. It is not intuitive. It is going to take you a while. The way that I learned technical analysis was by watching literally hundreds and thousands of hours of YouTube videos. That's how I learned business. That's how I learned entrepreneurship. That's how I learned about working out. That's how I learned about nutrition. That's just my learning style, and I think that's the learning style of you also. A lot of you guys are that way. I literally just watch a ton of YouTube videos, and I might only pick up on 1% of what they're talking about, but if I just throw everything against the wall, eventually it's all going to stick, and eventually I'll understand. That's the way I learn these things. That's what I did with Bitcoin. It took me 2 years to do it that way. 2 years to learn the fundamentals. That's all well and good. That's the most comfortable way that I learn. It is by far not the most efficient. And guys, 2 years from now, Bitcoin's going to be sitting at all-time high. Do you want to be sitting at all-time high and you're like, oh, now I understand how to trade cryptocurrency markets? Or do you want to understand next week? Because that is what we designed CT2A to do. To meet you where you are, whether you just got into crypto or whether you've been here for a year or two, if you are even remotely green in crypto, and even if you're not, we've had veterans in the space go through CT2A and get a lot of great value out of it. We have designed the Academy so that you are able to go through this and learn all the fundamentals that you need. We start here with a 35-minute on how to set up and use TradingView. Guys, this program over here, TradingView, can be very complicated. There's a lot of buttons, there's a lot of tools, and you need to know what they all do. This video is 35 minutes, and believe me, there was not a wasted minute in this. The raw file for this video was over 70 minutes long. I sat down at this computer for an hour and 10 minutes to record that video. And by the way, that video is free on our website if you want to get a preview of what the Academy is like. We have videos on support and resistance, how to read candlestick charts, Heikin-Ashi, which this is one of my favorite videos in the entire Academy. Then we have videos on every single technical indicator that I use. There's a few more coming here like VPVR and TD sequential in the next couple of months. And then we get down to the actual technical analysis section, which this is where we teach you very important concepts like risk to reward ratios, math psychology, market structure, intuition. This is incredibly important, and I see no one talking about this. Market sentiment, which is a lot of what we've been discussing in today's video. Strength of support and resistance, the strength of the bulls and the bears, how to plan and execute profitable trades. This is a very important video. These are all things that you need to understand if you're working in this market, guys. Look, you can do this the hard way. You can go and learn maybe half of what's taught in this course online. The other half is from my direct personal experience, and you're not going to find that without someone who has that experience telling you, which is very rare, or by spending thousands of hours in the market yourself like I have. Maybe half of this you could go and find. Look, I'm not even charging you with CT2A for how to calculate RSI, which is something you'll learn in the Academy, because you can go and find that. I don't price the course based off of that, because that is something you can go and look up on Investopedia. The reason that CT2A is valuable is not because we have some kind of silver bullet. It's not because we're some kind of get-rich-quick scheme. Guys, I'm not marketing CT2A as like, hey, join our Academy, and overnight, you're guaranteed 4,000% returns. You've seen enough of that crap in crypto, and I'm tired of it myself. The reason that the Academy is so very valuable is because it's all in one place. Try learning calculus without a textbook, without a teacher, and without a basic understanding of any of the foundation, and it is going to take you years. But you go through a class with an educator that knows what they're talking about with a structured curriculum, and it's going to be much easier for you. You're going to save time, and you're going to be in a position to be making profitable trades in a couple of months rather than in a couple of years when this bull market is already over. So it's really a question of what is your time worth to you. If you think it's worth more than just about nothing, CT2A is in the description down below, and I promise you it is going to be worth every single penny. If it's not, we have a full 14-day money-back refund guarantee. You can snap your fingers by emailing me, and you will get all of your money back. I'm not afraid to tell you that we've had about 1% of the people that go through CT2A refund the course. The reason they do that is because they have decided that crypto is not for them. If you think that crypto is for you and you want to learn, join our 2,000 students, and you can join our Discord server down below to ask what they think. Again, guys, use the coupon code BULLRUN2020 at checkout, get $40 off, and then get started learning. It is going to be a lot easier than if you try to do it on your own. Believe me, I've tried. Anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's video. Before I go, though, like I said, we're about to hit 48K subs. Guys, I remember back in the day when we had just gotten started, and every time we uploaded a video, I would be really excited if we hit like 400 views in the first hour, and lately we've been hitting 4,000 views in the first hour. And guys, this channel has been active for over 2.5 years now, and it has been a wild ride, and we're about to hit 50,000 subscribers, and I am just so incredibly humbled and flattered and appreciative for that. So if you're new here, thank you so much. You'll quickly learn what we're all about. If you've been here for a while, guys, I hope I'm continuing to meet the expectations that I've set for myself. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, anything you would like to see on the channel, let us know in the comment section down below. But for now, though, guys, as always, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.